Now, sometimes the source that was passed in may be a link to an image that no longer exists, or in some weird cases to a resource that's not even a valid image. So we should protect against that. We'll start by defining some initial props. So we'll do define props. We'll have name as a string, source also as a string, and then initials to display just in case the source is not passed in. Let's go ahead and define the HTML structure. We'll have a span element that will hold everything together, an image element that will only be rendered if we have a source passed in, so vif props.source. We'll set source to props.source, and then alt will be props.name. If we don't have a source passed in, we'll render another template, so v-else, that will display the initials. So we'll have props.initials. Let's go ahead and pass the props in. So we'll have name, we'll have initials, and then as source, I'll just paste in an image from the internet. Another thing I want to do is whenever we hover the avatar, I want the name to be displayed as a tooltip. To do that, we can go to our span element and add a title attribute set to props.name. And here it is. Now, sometimes the source that was passed in may be a link to an image that no longer exists, or in some weird cases to a resource that's not even a valid image. So we should protect against that. What we can do is we can create a new image object. So we'll do const image equals new image. We'll set the image source to be props.source, and then we'll try to decode the image. Now, this decode function returns a promise, which means we can do then and catch. What this allows us to do is have something like verified source, and this will be a reactive value set to null. And if the image is successfully decoded, then we'll set verified source value to props.source. Otherwise, if the image fails to be decoded, we'll have an error here, and we'll set verified source value to null and continue throwing the error. Now, of course, we need to replace our props.source in our template to verified source. So now, if we go here and pass in a broken link, we show the initials instead. So this is a sure and easy way to check that the source of your image is valid. However, one thing we need to do is make sure that this entire thing is reactive. Because currently, if I go ahead and change the source to a valid image, I have to refresh the entire page in order to show it. So what we can do here is grab all this and throw it into a watch effect function. Now, if we go back here and change the source, the component reacts accordingly, which is what we wanted. If we go back to our component, we should also set some kind of fallback for the initials. Maybe these are not passed in. So let's create like a fallback computed property. So we'll go here and have const fallback equals computed. And we'll return the initials if they are present. Otherwise, we'll grab the first character of the name. And we can do that using char auth and pass 0, but only if the name is passed in. Otherwise, we'll just display a question mark. So now, if we go back here and remove the source, we show the initials. If we remove the initials, we show the first letter of the name. If we remove the name, we show a question mark. I think we are ready to style this. So let's start with the container. Here we'll do inline block. We'll give it a height of, let's say, 28, width 28. We'll make sure this cannot be shrink. So in case it's used in a flex or something, so we'll do shrink 0. We'll do bg slate 200, rounded full. And we should also do overflow hidden. So here it is. Now to style the image, we can do h-full, width full, and then object cover. There we go. Let's go ahead and remove the source prop so we can style the text. So now we have some text here. And the first thing we need to do is center it. So I'll turn this into an inline flex, and then we'll do items center and justify center. Then to style the actual text, we'll do font bold, text slate 700, and let's say text 5XL. Also, we should add select none to prevent the user from selecting the initials. So now you can no longer select this text. Moving on, let's also add an inner border. So here we'll add a span element. We'll have absolute, inset 0, border black, and we'll give it an opacity of 5% and round it full. Now, as you can see, the border goes outside the container. So to constrain it, we'll need to add relative here. And there we go. Let's go ahead and add the image back in to make sure we didn't break anything. There we go. And the next thing we need to do is add the variants, because I want this avatar to come in different sizes. And I also want to have like a square shape. So let's start with the size. We'll add a new prop called size. And this will be of type string. And we'll also add a validator so we can only accept a given set of values. So we'll do validator. And here we'll basically have an array of accepted values, which will be SM, base, and LG. So this array must include the prop that is passed in. And then we'll set the default to base. Now we can go ahead and grab the container classes and create our first CVA definition. So here we'll have container class. We'll do const container class, which will be a computed value. We'll return CVA. We'll paste in the default classes and we'll have variants, size, and here we'll basically have SM, base, and LG. Let's also make sure we call the CVA function by passing it an object with size equals to props.size. And then for LG, we'll do text 5XL, H28 width 28. For base, we'll do text XL, H12 width 12. And then for SM, we'll do text XS, H8 with 8. Let's go ahead and play with the settings. So we'll do size SM, size base, and size LG. Okay. Moving on, we can play with the shape. So let's add a shape prop, which will be similar to size. So here we'll have shape. We'll only allow circle and square. The default will be a circle. Then we'll go to our container class CVA definition and add shape as a variant. We'll have circle and square. For circle, we'll have rounded full, so let's grab this. For square, we'll have just rounded. And let's also make sure we pass it here. So shape equals props.shape. Okay, let's go ahead and change the shape. And I don't know if you'll notice, but here we have that inner border that is still round. Let's make this a bit bigger, so LG. Not sure if you can notice it. That's because here we have rounded full. So we should also extract an inner border class. I'll go here and do const inner border class equals computed. We'll return CVA. Paste in the default classes. We'll have variants with shape. And we can basically copy these values and make sure we remove rounded full from the default classes. And of course, call the CVA function with shape equals props.shape. And now we're good. Let's play around with the size. SM, with the shape. Let's remove the source. And I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and display a bunch of variants. So I'll replace the source with my image. And let's put this inside the div. That will be a flex, items, center. And we'll have a small version, a base version, and a large version. Let's add a bit of spacing between them. So we'll do gap 5. And then we'll do another one with the initials. And here I'll basically remove the source. And then I'll copy these two and use the squares. So I'll go here and replace the shape with square. And there we go. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, share it, subscribe, click the bell button, all that good stuff. Bye.